Hello! I am teacher Kelly, and as many of you already know, I am an interviewer for iTutorGroup and a recruiter for a number of other online ESL companies. I am always uploading new content to help and support aspiring new current online ESL teachers to help them be successful in the industry. So definitely click subscribe below to keep up with everything. Now, without further ado, our video for today is part of our Real Teacher Talk series. So this one is number 3 in the series. I met with two wonderful teachers, Tanya and Shalise, and they are at different stages of their online teaching journeys. They both work with multiple companies, different companies, and I met with them to chat about one question that I always get: how to choose an online ESL company. So I spend some time talking to the girls about the advice that they have for new teachers, things to look for in a new company, red flags to look for in a new company, and essentially how to get started. So I'm going to shut up now. Without further ado, let's jump into our video. So just as an overview, of course, you guys, I did not tell you what to prepare. How this works, I know we're already a few minutes in, but we're going to do about 15 minutes. I'll try not to keep you guys too long because I know you have better things to be doing. I'm just going to ask you guys a couple of questions, kind of taking turns style, about your experiences and kind of get, pull some advice from you guys. Because I know, like I said before, you are at differing stages of your online teaching career. So I think that's really valuable to share your perspectives with where you're at right now. So let's jump in. My first question is a very, very easy one. Tell me a little bit about your teaching experience. So what companies, online companies you work for, how long you've been doing it. Yeah, just a little bit of your teaching background, I guess. We'll go top first, so Tanya.
Okay, so I work for iTutor since January this year. And also I work for Native Camp from April this year. And very different companies. So at iTutor, I work with Chinese kids and adults. And at Native Camp, I work mainly with Japanese adults. So very different companies, very different platforms, very different type of rating, incentives. So everything different. But I'm satisfied with both companies. And so that's for now. I'm just to say I'm still beginner in ESL industry.
Oh, that's good. Like in this industry, being in it for 5-6 months already, that is experience. Yeah. You pick up a lot in that time. So don't write yourself off. That's a long time. Okay, same question. Where are you at?
Okay, so I'm like I mentioned once before, is I'm I'm a middle school English teacher. I say normal English teacher, but I teach within the classroom.
Yeah.
And when so I work with 6th graders. I do have a lot of ESL students. But my ESL students are predominantly Spanish speaking since I am in San Antonio, Texas. And I started doing ESL online last summer. I had a good friend of mine that kind of was like, I think this is something you'd really like. And she got me into it. I started with VIPKID, I want to say in like July. And I've been working with them ever since. Their platform is only different in the sense it's only kids. It's ages 4 through 12. And it's obviously it's in Asian countries, and it's 25 minutes, it's like 25, 28 minute segments for their teaching. And with that, it's basically, with their curriculum, it's kind of based on certain characters. So it kind of focuses more, they do have different stages, but it's more like character related. Okay. And then for iTutorGroup, I started this spring, and I really enjoy it because it's both a blessing and a challenge to work with adults. So I really enjoy working with adults because it's kind of getting, you know, how they learn, what specific ways to teach them. Also with iTutorGroup, the type of curriculum we use, I love it because it's very open-minded, and I feel that the topics are something that not only do the students learn, but I feel like I'm learning more about whatever it is we're teaching. I feel that it's just such a wide variety of topics and relations. So that's one thing I really like. I really enjoy my time with iTutorGroup. It's definitely taught me a lot to kind of shape my way of getting the material to the students. And I really appreciate that because in terms of working with adults, I've only do that mainly with like I mentioned before, with friends or people I've known. So it's kind of a different way, but I really love it.
No, awesome, awesome. I like too that you guys have, you know, varying lengths of experience, but also experience with different companies as well, because I think that's really valuable. And I like too that you're both with different companies. Like you both have your set of companies. Set. Oh, you get what I mean.
Yes.
So, next question, and you might have to think about this one for a second because I didn't let you prep or think about this beforehand. I want to know your 3 big factors that made you choose the companies that you're with. So to give you an idea of what I'm thinking along the lines, like, was it the pay? Was it the hours, the flexibility? Was it the curriculum, the support, the available hours, the demographic? You know, it could be anything. So if you need a couple seconds to think, that's totally fine. But I want to know, what were your 3, like, you had to have, like, what made you choose these 3, like the companies that you're with? I'll let you guys, whoever wants to jump in and go first, whoever has it ready, can just kind of and go.
I'll go first. For Q Kids, I want to say I was interested in it because of a reference. So I had a friend that also guided me. So that was what got me excited about it. I also really liked, I thought, since I teach in the classroom, I teach, you know, like middle school students. I liked that the students were younger, and I thought it was kind of fun to do the curriculum with the cartoon characters. I also thought that the hours appealed to me because it's something I do in the morning before going to work, because it's kind of hard for me to do the evening hours, but I liked the hours doing before work.
Right.
And then for iTutorGroup, I think a couple things. Kelly, you've been an inspiration, so I want to say you have been an inspiration as far as a recruiter. I think because you really made it such a positive, such a great experience. So that was something that I enjoyed. Also, it's for adults, so I really was hoping to teach like the older students. And the last one I would say is the times, because since we're in quarantine, I, you know, had some more time during the day, so the time really stood out to me. And the last one would be the material. I just really love the curriculum.
Awesome. I like that. You came up with things I didn't think about either. That's good. I already had this list in my head. You came up with next. I like it.
Sorry. I was like, I have it in my mind.
No, that's good. That's exactly what I wanted. I didn't just want, you know, things I had thought of. I wanted the other perspective. So no, that's good. That's good. All right, Tanya, what you got?
Okay, so with both companies, I like the flexible hours. So in iTutor and in Native Camp, it is very important for me because I have a little child. So it's very important for me that I can choose the hours when I'm available to work. So that's in both companies. And to be honest, in iTutor, pay is higher for me. Pay is higher, but since I like to work more with adult students, as you know,
we've had that conversation.
Yeah. I like group classes with adult students. I like also classes, one-on-one classes, but at iTutor I like more adults classes. And with at Native Camp, I like that I have 99% of Japanese adults. So
Right.
also I like their how to say, their culture. So
Interesting.
yeah. So I think I mean, I don't want that someone, take me wrong, but I think that they take learning more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, that's a good one.
when they are teaching or whatever they are doing, they are taking very seriously, and they are very motivated. So I was blown away when I saw that, and that is the thing that just amazed me. And like I can say I have a message both for parents, both for teachers, uh, if you are taking, this is for parents and for kids, if you are taking classes and you're paying for them, I think that you should sit with your child and tell them, I'm hard working for those classes, to pay you those classes. Yes,
That's a good
that
bit
is
of
my
advice
opinion.
for parents, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would like that parents watch this video, and I would like to comment below.
She's gonna add a comment later. Parents, sit with
She's
your
like,
kids.
yes.
To subscribe and share.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, so I would sit with my child and I would say, because I had the experience personally when I was learning math, privately
Yeah.
for my university, and teacher told me, if you want to come to these classes, and when you're paying for them, after classes you need to do your homework and to be the best, to be the best possible version. So I'm just thinking like that, just don't waste your time and your money and other time. So that is my piece of advice. So that is what I like at Native Camp and at iTutor. Uh, I like flexible hours, and I like the pay. The pay is higher.
Mhm.
So, and I like my adults classes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I like that you both actually came up with some things that I didn't think about as far as the answers you gave. That's fabulous. Awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to think of which. I have two more, but I want to think of which one I want to ask first.
You're like,
All right. Well, let's go to the other side of things. So you kind of gave the positives or the things that really drew you to the companies or got you or that you're enjoying about your companies. If you had to speak to someone who's looking for a company right now, what would you tell them to kind of look for as far as red flags? I don't know if you guys have had much experience with any, thing going wrong or anything, but what would you tell them to kind of, pay attention to when they're looking for a company? It can just be one thing. It doesn't have to be a list of three if you don't have three, but just any red flag that might have stood out to you when you were looking for your own company. Or Tanya's like, yes, I have a whole list.
she has a list. She's like,
No, that's good. What you got?
Okay, I personally don't like the system ratings generally in generally in all online schools. So I would like to improve that part, but it's not impossible at the moment. But so I would tell a future teacher just to to be the best possible version because of that ratings, and to just watch, to look how to teach, maybe to search for some teaching style or methods, or I don't know, maybe to have some props or some rewards, something attracting for students. So I would tell them, that is the first thing. That is the first thing, and I think that is actually the only thing that I can remember at the moment.
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one, actually, because most companies I know of have some form of rating system or feedback system, and that is really important. That teachers should be aware that that exists, and it can be positive, but can be really soul crushing as well for some situations. So that's a really good one, actually. And something I didn't think of. I love this. Okay.
No, I agree with what she said. There is a lot of different kinds of ratings I've noticed when you research the companies, where I've noticed that there's like a list of, and when you look at the list, they go by how much they pay their teachers, you know, the highest to the lowest, or it could be like the different areas of the world where you can teach these certain with these certain companies and so forth.
Yeah.
I think it's important though to really what's helped me a lot personally is watching the YouTube videos, as you know, we're preparing for right now, because I feel that that is more personable than, because
Little internal promotion.
yes, because well, because when you look at certain ratings, some people are very negative, and you don't want it to be like, okay, I'm gonna reflect on this one negative rating, because everyone's experience is different. But I also think when you look into the companies, you really need to think about how many hours are required, because every company is different. So based on your life, whether if you know, whatever, if you have obviously a full-time job, part-time job, or you work from home, with different things, you want it to be able to reflect around that. So you want the hours to be, but you also want to make sure the times are times that you can contribute to, because I know that can be a little bit of a challenge. So that's what what made me think like, oh, this company I can do this, but this company I can't. And some companies only have like very early morning hours or very late night hours, or, you know, it just varies. So I think that will kind of get people to better understand what choices they want to do.
Definitely. That's also a really good one as well, because I do get a lot of questions about hours for companies, and companies have all different requirements and minimums and
yes.
And different scales of flexibility too. So even sometimes if they don't have a minimum, if you open up 20 hours and they get booked, you're kind of screwed with flexibility. So you do have to make sure that whatever you commit to, or whatever you say you can do, that you can, or that it does fit what you want, rather. So those are both very good ones. I like this. You guys are good at this. Coming up with lots of good stuff. I know. I even got a little bit of extra promotion in there. You guys should watch YouTube videos.
just as a plus.
I like that. Just a little plug in there. All right. Okay, so that's you know, how you guys kind of, you know, the positives that you chose and used to pick your companies, the things to be careful about. So the last question I want to ask, and this kind of comes with choosing a company, as far as, you know, style. So, you know, all companies have different interview mock things. Like I'm sure you know from Q-Kids would be very different to what you were expected for iTutorGroup. Same with Native Camp and iTutorGroup as well. What advice do you have for someone applying, someone finding a company, as far as the processes that they have to go through? What would you tell them to kind of help? If that makes sense.
So I would tell them to prepare good for their demo.
I'm 100% behind that.
Yeah, and to see, they can research about every company on the internet, so they can see what are the requirements, and they can see if that company is good enough for them, and they can watch they can watch on YouTube how it looks like some demo for them. So they can prepare very good for their interview process, and I think that should be enough. They just need to practice maybe 2 or 3 days, and to put maybe some sentences on the paper or something else, and to prepare their background, maybe t-shirt or something like that.
I like all of that, actually. I do. That I like the last part that you said too. I think having this prepared doesn't matter the company, but I know from interviewing that where you set up for your interview says a lot about how the interview is going to go. I've had people in bed and their laptops like this the whole time, and I'm like,
you're so funny.
should really write a book on some of the things I see, and you guys have no idea.
You should make like a funny video, like what not to do, and like make jokes about it.
I was thinking about it because I did make the other video that's up on the pitfalls, but I kind of kept that one more serious, well, reasonably serious.
Yeah.
As serious as my personality is, but I should do one that's kind of like a parody of bad
things. Yeah.
But no, I really like what you said there, especially at the end. But I also think that what you said is really good advice for finding an ESL company. I think checking out videos for what the demos look like is really good, because if you look at a company, say Magic Ears, for example, who's really high energy, and that's not your personality, it's probably not the best fit for you to apply either. So I think that's really valuable for that as well. Okay, sorry, I would let you finish yours now.
That's awesome. I agree with, sorry, it's my dog. I agree with what Tanya said. I think that you have to have, you have to have like, you have to have the background, and then you also have to have, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
I was holding it together, but it didn't laugh. I've had that happen during interviews too. I've had like chickens in the background, dogs in the background.
Kelly, I remember I was too close. I think my laptop, was too close when I had an interview.
But that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's not too bad. We were talking about bad interviews because I was like, I've had dogs, I've had chickens.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. When I get packages, I got a package, and when I get packages, my dog is very assertive, and she looks out for us. So she was like going crazy. But so I agree with what Tanya said. I agree with the background. You have to have a very well lit room as well.
That's a good one.
And also you have to have a background that's going to intrigue the people, because if it's like a boring blank wall, they're going to, I don't know if they'll be as excited about learning. Also, another thing that that I like to do when I can, depending on the lesson, is having props. So sometimes having props with you to kind of get the students excited. That can happen for both, kids and adults, because I've done both, just to see a visual, and also really helps with obviously the ESL learners. Once again, like we said, going over the information. I usually jot down notes when I can before an interview. And I honestly, I'm kind of over the top with researching. I like research what they ask sometimes, because you can find the questions, what they ask, whether it be from other YouTube videos or looking at ratings. I have found the questions, or I've asked other people, and I make it to my personality. So I kind of prep for that and say like, okay, what is me, not this other person. I also, let's see, kind of think of your the audience in terms of who you will be teaching to. So like, I know for Q Kids, we had to read a book. We had to do us reading a storybook and get excited about it. And then I know for iTutorGroup, we did have the videos based on like the juniors and the adults. So, you have to kind of gather what is going to get these students excited about, what is something I can read or share about myself. So those are some things.
I think that's really good too. One thing that I really took away from that, and somebody brought this up in another video as well, is about your own style. I think it's really important to not copy everything you see on YouTube. It's great to get the ideas, and because you can really gauge what a company's looking for by that. If they want a certain level of TPR or energy or props but I think it's really important to say, okay, that's what they're looking for. Let me put my style into it, and not necessarily just be robotic about it. So I think that's a really good one as well.
Yes,
going forward too. So things about the videos as well. You have to kind of carry it through your teaching and not just the interview too. I like those. You guys come up with some good stuff.
We're awesome. We're a good team.
I really like this, because sometimes, I come into these and I kind of have like an idea of what I'm thinking, but I like to hear things that are completely different. That's good. Because that's the whole idea. That's the whole purpose of getting the feedback from you guys and people that are actually, teaching aside from me.
Doing it, yeah.
I teach as well, of course, but, I'm also, the recruiter up here saying, join X company. So it's good to actually hear it from other people as well.
That's awesome.
No, it's okay. So I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I did promise you about 15, 20 minutes. And of course, like the first 10 is going to get chopped off. So we are going to just wrap up there. So I do want to say thank you guys again. You guys were absolutely awesome. Great answers. And I think that's really, really helpful for people looking to choose a company and kind of find out, where their niche is in this really big industry. I swear when I started, it was not this big. So it's definitely grown a lot. And I think the advice that you guys gave will be super helpful, to be honest. So